Hello, everyone. Thank you for being with us this morning, and Happy New Year to you. Well, it wasn't such a Happy New Year for some folks who last August had a horrible event that occurred, but I first want to introduce you to our Animal Cruelty Investigative Unit. For those in the community that may not know, we have 2 full-time people plus our ag detectives that work animal cruelty cases. And in fact, we've worked 2 hoarding cases in the last 30 days. And we started this case that I'm about to talk about on August 16th. And you go, why in the world did it take so long to bring this case to a conclusion? Well, I think you'll find out in just a few minutes why it did. But let me first introduce you to our victims. There were 3 victims. And our 3 victims were Daisy. Here's a Chihuahua. She's about 4 years old, and she was pregnant with 8 puppies. There were 2 kittens, or young cats, one named Pancake and the other named Luna. And they were loved by their family. The children and all of the victims of the family are devastated because on August 16th, the 3 of these died. And they died because they were poisoned. And we arrested the person that was responsible for that. Originally, our deputies responded to a call from the owners of Daisy, and Pancake, and Luna, and we saw that one of them was in horrific distress. Others had already died, and the one that was in horrific distress died immediately. From there, our Animal Cruelty Investigative Unit was contacted, as well as our detectives from our ag unit, and the investigation began. So the question is, how much work does it take to make a case like this? Well, we leave no stone unturned. We had to send samples to the University of Florida. The University of Florida then worked with Texas A&M. Texas A&M then worked with Michigan State in order for us to determine the poison that was used, and that we had to tie the poison to the various animals back to the source. And here's what we determined. We determined that Tamisha Knighton, here's her wearing rubber gloves and carrying the poison in a styrofoam bowl. There were small chicken strips that she put, as she called it, her special seasoning on it. And she put her special seasoning on the chicken strips. They were in the bowl, and then she set them out, and that's where Daisy, Pancake, and Luna consumed them and ultimately died of poisoning. Now, in a minute, why do I show you this picture from this video clip? Because she denies everything, as you can imagine. But I want to introduce you to the person that did this horrible act. This is Tamisha Knighton. She's 51 years of age. She says she's a registered nurse. The state of Florida shows that she's a registered, licensed, practical nurse, okay? We call her an IJN, an in the jail nurse, because of her conduct. She was working for WellMed in Highland City. When we started this investigation, we had to exhume one of the cats, and we sent all the evidence away. It took from August until last week, and we thank the University of Florida, Texas A&M, and Michigan State for all working on this case so we could bring it together. They decided that the insecticide that was used in a very concentrated state that was put on the chicken strip, that happened to be the special seasoning, was folate. And this folate was put in such toxic levels that immediately it caused the death of these 3 animals. When we talked to Tamisha over this period of time, she totally lied about everything. She said, I do put chicken out to feed the neighborhood animals because I care for them. That was her excuse when we showed the photograph here. Well, why would you be wearing rubber gloves to handle food that you were just putting out because you like the animals? When we ask, well, will we find any other substance in this chicken? She said, well, just my special seasoning. Well, her special seasoning was folate. So at the end of the day, we're going to give you a video that's going to show this picture of her taking the substance over and placing it on the ground. I can assure you of one thing. She may be an LPN who claims to be an RN that we say is an IGN, but we won't have her working in food services or in medical as a trustee. Here's our warning to everyone else. If you're having problems with neighbors and their animals, resolve it with a neighbor peacefully and appropriately and legally, or contact my animal investigations unit. Let us help figure out a resolution with you. Do not ever poison innocent animals unless, of course, you want to go to jail as well. Are there any other questions?
Sheriff, why? What did these animals do that just upset her so much that she wanted to do this?
She obviously didn't tell us the truth about anything else, but what she told us was that they were coming over into her yard. And she suspected that these animals got into the ant killer because we could see her spreading ant killer around her mobile home. That was her cover. But of course, our detectives, who are simply the very best, took samples of that as well to send off to the universities. So we tested the animals for the ant poison. There was none in their system. But what was in their system was folate from the chicken. So there was folate on the chicken, there was folate in the system of Daisy and Luna and Pancake.
Is folate not the chemical then that's in the ant killer?
Folate was not in the ant killer that she put around the house. It was an insecticide. It was a heavy amount of insecticide that she put into this chicken.
Just wanted to be clear, because she was a nurse and working for this place, that this wasn't a chemical or something that came from the place.
No, this chemical can be purchased over the counter.
And, you know, it was not only the 3 pets, but that Chihuahua also was pregnant. I mean, 8 puppies.
With 8 puppies.
Yeah, when you hear that, what do you think?
Oh, it makes me angry. It certainly makes me angry. So, and you're absolutely right. It was not just the 3. It was 8 more that she killed as well. But, of course, because they were not born yet, we charged with the 3. So why do you do this? There's no excuse for that. There's none. Zero. There's ways to deal with conflict even if you're upset about the cat and the dog, or the cats and the dog. But at the end of the day, she chose to do a criminal act, an intentional criminal act. This is not a mistake. It's not like you love cats and you've got too many of them because you love them and you just want to help them, and then you end up neglecting them for lack of ability to take care of them. She did an intentional act, and the intentional act ended up with our puppies being killed, our puppy and our kittens being killed. Okay?
Is she still in jail right now?
I don't know if she's bonded out or not, but she went to jail last night.
Do you know how long the 2 had been neighbors?
I don't know that. How long the 2 had been neighbors, no. Okay? Thank you all very much. Have a good day.